Hey, welcome. If you've ever felt like the old rules of leadership just don't cut it anymore, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to crack open a brand new playbook, a modern guide for anyone trying to lead effectively in this constantly changing world. So let's dive in and see what that actually looks like.
It's the big question, right? What does it really take to lead today? Because let's be honest, the ground is constantly shifting under our feet. We've got new tech, totally different expectations from our teams, and just super complex dynamics. That old school, top-down command and control style? Yeah, that's pretty much obsolete. So what takes its place?
All right, so in this explainer, we're going to break it down into 4 key chapters. First, we'll tackle the modern leadership challenge itself. Then we'll get into redefining the whole workplace contract. After that, we'll look at who you're actually leading, your diverse team. And finally, we'll arm you with an adaptive leader's toolkit.
Okay, let's kick things off with the big picture. The entire context of work has changed. Fundamentally. Organizations are way flatter, information just zips around instantly, and the very things people expect from their jobs, they've been completely rewritten.
What's the one constant in the modern workplace? It's change. And that's the new normal, right? We've got hybrid work, evolving market demands. Change isn't some rare event anymore. It is the continuous state of things. So the real challenge for a leader isn't trying to stop it. It's about building a team that can actually thrive right in the middle of all that chaos.
So to really get how to lead today, we've got to understand the new relationship between an employee and a company. It's about so much more than just a paycheck. And this brings us right to the core of the modern workplace, the contract itself. Okay, so this is the classic agreement, the employment contract. It's the what you do, when you show up, and what you get paid for it. It's all there in black and white, it's transactional, and for a long, long time, that's all that really mattered. But it's only half the story now. And this is the other and, frankly, more powerful half, the psychological contract. This is all the unwritten stuff. It's built on these unspoken expectations of trust, respect, and mutual commitment. It's about feeling valued, having a real shot at growth, and actually believing in what the company's doing. This is where that real loyalty and that extra effort, that's where it comes from. This comparison really makes the shift crystal clear, doesn't it? We're moving from a purely economic exchange to a social and emotional one. So here's the bottom line. If you're only managing that formal employment contract, you are missing the single biggest driver of modern employee engagement. The best leaders today, they build and they honor the psychological contract, period.
Okay, so we've redefined the contract. Awesome. Now let's talk about the other side of that equation, your team. And here's the crucial part. You have to understand they are not all the same. This probably seems super obvious, but it's a trap so many leaders fall into. A one-size-fits-all approach to how you communicate, how you motivate, how you develop people, it is absolutely guaranteed to fail. The most effective leaders out there recognize and adapt to the unique individuals who make up their team. Just think about what this means in practice, right? You're leading a mix of cultures, which is a huge asset for new ideas. But at the same time, you're managing multiple generations. You might have some folks who prefer face-to-face feedback and others who live on instant messaging. Juggling all those different needs while making sure things are fair for everyone, that's not just some HR thing anymore. It's a core leadership skill.
And this brings us to our final and, honestly, most practical section. We know the why and the what. So now let's get into the how. What tools do you actually need in your day-to-day leadership playbook to make all this happen? We're going to zero in on 2 incredibly powerful concepts. And listen, these are not just buzzwords. They are actionable frameworks that can totally transform how you lead and, more importantly, how your team performs. So let's break them down. First up, empowerment. And let's be clear, this is not just delegation. Delegating is assigning a task. Empowering is entrusting someone with an outcome. It's about distributing authority and building a culture where people feel trusted to use their best judgment, to take initiative. It's the difference between saying, do this, and saying, achieve this. So how do you actually do it? Well, it starts by granting real autonomy, letting them figure out the how. But you don't just walk away. That's step 2. You provide support. You act as a coach. You remove roadblocks. And number 3, and this is crucial, you foster ownership. You make sure they understand why their work matters in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, the second tool is situational leadership. This is the perfect antidote to that one-size-fits-all approach we talked about. For example, you might be super directive with a brand new employee on a really critical project, but you'd be completely hands-off with a seasoned expert who's brainstorming new ideas. It's all about being the leader your team needs you to be in that specific moment for that specific task.
And this quote really just sums it all up, doesn't it? The best leaders, they don't have all the answers. Instead, they ask the right questions and they adapt their approach. Your job isn't to be the hero who swoops in and saves the day. It's to be the architect of a system that gets the absolute best out of your people. It's about being a coach, a facilitator, and a strategist who can adapt on the fly.
So as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Are you leading for yesterday or are you leading for tomorrow? That old playbook, look, it's comfortable, it's familiar, but it was written for a world that just doesn't exist anymore. The new playbook, the one built on psychological trust, on appreciating diversity, and using tools like empowerment and adaptation, that's the one that's going to build the winning teams of tomorrow. So the only real question is, which playbook are you using?